Before we begin part three in earnest, let's just review. This image was chosen on the spur of the moment, on a whim. There was nothing pre planned about it. It was in a folder that I'd renamed all the images Zion. And when I just speculated about this being in southern Utah, because this is actually Lee's Ferry, it's a national monument that I thought was in southern Utah, but when I looked it up, I discovered it's in northern Arizona, 12 miles south of the Utah-Arizona border. So Utah rocks, huh? Okay, so that's number one. Number two is I don't go into these video tutorials with a rock solid plan. The idea is I want to take my students on a journey of discovery and share some knowledge and strategies and techniques along the way. But making mistakes and turning on a dime is part of the creative process. So, as far as preparing this for print, this had to do with image size and resolution and cropping and alternatives to filling the entire canvas with continuous tone imagery. And I did not waste paper or ink on this picture because it's terrible. Now, in part two, I did attempt to create something that would be worth its while to print. And you can see we spent a little more time refining this. And if you did these videos, you understand I shared some other strategies and techniques, some ideas on how to prepare this. And I did print this. And it's boring. Boring. So I came at this a third angle and I tried it several times and I wound up with this very unusual print. And this file printed beautifully. And the sky, if we hit Command 1, just so you can see this at actual size, the detail in here is really interesting and engaging, and your eye is teased to follow some of these meandering lines through, and the text even mimics the effects that are part of this final product. This final product that is actually in northern Arizona and not part of Zion. And I knew it wasn't part of Zion, but the Arizona part was a surprise. What follows is a trip through these layers. I'm not going to make you sit through all of my fiddling with the settings, but I will share every single setting so you can play along if you want, and the strategies I used as I moved from bottom to top in this process. And it's worthwhile just to get a peek at someone else's creative process, and you might use and modify these techniques to try something similar of your own on one of your own images. So enjoy this, and I hope you wind up with something that is, in fact, worthwhile to print, judging by what you hold in your hands after it comes out of the printer, because that's what matters. I'm going to put this in a white frame, give it to my wife for Mother's Day, and throw $10 into the MacLab fund through the finance office to pay for my print. And I think it'll be a sweet gift. And we'll laugh about the title. Maybe I'll change this to Lee's Landing. Lee's Ferry, excuse me, is the name of the national monument.